bedroom is quiet enough to hear the clock taste each second, you mean to write. You open the notebook, uncap the pen, and reach for your phone to clear one alert. The screen sighs. A clip, a message you could answer tomorrow. The night slides past while your page waits like a chair pulled out for someone who never arrived. Here's the thesis. Comfort is kind until it starts taking votes on your life. Give it your evening, and it will ask for your week. It rarely scolds. It simply guides the hand toward cushions, loops, and easy brightness. You wake rested and smaller. Huxley saw this coming in A City of Smiles. Reimagine his warning this way: pleasure as policy, sedation as a system. Not a boot on the neck, but slippers. If pain pushes, comfort persuades. Both demand payment, and comfort prefers installments so small you stop checking the bill. You are not lazy. You are well managed by a velvet rope. Notifications become ushers, autoplay a valet, convenience a clerk that nudges you away from the road home. It feels humane because it is smooth. It becomes costly because it is endless. Tonight, we'll turn down the volume and listen for the terms. I'll show you 7 scenes where comfort collects its fees. The 5 more minutes that steal an hour. The gentle meeting that replaces the real one. The praise that buys your calendar. The snack that spends your focus. The feed that edits your aim. The sofa that cancels your promise. The lullaby that mutes your edge. Then a field manual to keep ease in its lane, and a closing parable for your pillow. For now, breathe with a hush and ask yourself, what did ease purchase from me today, and what price felt invisible? At 2 matching desks, the difference looks small. One is clean and prepared, a blank page, a sharp pencil, a glass of water. The other is pleasant and busy, a tasteful lamp, a bowl of sweets, tabs parked like friendly birds, a podcast murmuring about nothing. Both invite you to sit. Only one invites you to begin. This is the economics of ease. Every choice prices itself in 2 currencies: immediate relief and cumulative meaning. Ease pays quickly, with change in your palm. Effort pays later, in larger notes. On any single day, the difference feels minor. Over seasons, the rate compounds until you can hear it in your voice. Huxley would nod at how this works. Keep people pleasant, and they will police themselves. When the chair is soft enough, no guard needs to knock. We tidy our own range of motion down to comfortable loops and call it balance. Hidden costs follow the smile. Attention drifts from the task to the garnish. Decision fatigue blooms as every shiny option says, why not? Talents atrophy like muscles in plaster. They remain, but lack flex. So replace blame with mechanics. Futures tilt on tiny frictions. Defaults are votes we cast without looking. Loops learn us until we forget there was a gate. Put a rough edge on the wrong habit. Sand one off the right. Swap sugary. Cues for sturdy ones. Place the tool in reach and the temptation one room away. This is not a quarrel with comfort. It is a budget. Remove what makes real work heavy. Restore what lets rest return its investment. Listen closely. The first fee comfort charges is subtle. It reaches for your ambition's volume knob and turns it down a click, then 2, then 3. What happens when you turn it back? Again. The plan was to take the weekend to recover. You cleared Saturday, turned off alarms, and let the couch make decisions. Morning flowed into afternoon, syrupy. Treats arrived on schedule, and naps braided hours. By Sunday night, you were rested, but dull at the edges, like a knife polished instead of sharpened. The list stayed a list, and your appetite waved from the other shore. That is the volume knob on ambition. Constant low-level pleasures mute hunger. Relief becomes routine, and routine becomes requirement. The comfort curve is gentle. Relief, then habit, then a rule without author. You feel calm, but the calm has stopped investing in tomorrow. Early detection keeps you honest. Joy shrinks. Scrolling grows. Ideas arrive, and you postpone them with a promise that dissolves by dusk. The body is quiet, but the quiet tastes stale. When small entertainments outnumber small completions, the meter is drifting toward decay. Huxley holds up a mirror. If pleasure becomes policy, desire becomes decoration. Longing is invited to stand in the window, smiling, while policy escorts your hours toward agreeable fog. Nothing hurts. Little happens. Learn the difference between healing rest and numbing rest. Healing rest makes you curious again. It returns color to food and edges to thoughts. You wake with one clean next step instead of a dozen blunted maybes. Numbing rest cancels appetite. It lengthens the scroll and shortens the sentence. Ask, do I want to move now? Did rest give me one small decision I'm eager to make? Is my attention wider or narrower and stickier? If the answers lean dull, the knob has already turned. When ambition is quieted, conformity gets louder. It hands you a script and a comfortable chair. Next, we'll look at the scripted life and the price of reading your lines too well. The day builds its own cue cards. After the smallest spike of stress, a curt email, a crowded train, you hear the familiar line, treat yourself. The phrase opens the cupboard, the app, the cart. You are kind to your nerves, and the kindness becomes a ritual you perform on schedule, needed or not. This is how a script takes a seat at your desk. The script stack arranges predictable hours, predictable snacks, predictable screens, nesting one inside another. You know exactly when the kettle clicks, which thumbnail you tap, where the couch catches you. The stack hums, and your calendar writes itself in soft handwriting you rarely question. Sameness wins prizes. Fewer frictions. More applause for being consistent. Less risk of a wrong move. Colleagues praise reliability. Algorithms reward repeat. Your evenings become lanes with bumpers, safe and smooth enough that you stop steering and call it balance. Huxley's city glows here. Approved pleasures keeping the peace. The music is gentle, the lighting flattering, the shelves within reach. Nothing forces a reckoning. Nothing breaks, so nothing is reborn. You are not boring, you are buffered. Layers of comfort soften corners that once asked for skill. The buffer prevents scrapes. It also mutes the feedback that teaches hands to learn. The script is convenient until a problem wants a new page. Then the price appears. Courage is famously noisy on takeoff, and comfort sells caution like insurance at the gate. What happens when the challenge requires turbulence and the ushers keep offering pillows? The invitation arrived on a gray Wednesday. A stretch roll, a new team, a room with windows. You read it twice, felt the heart quicken, then glanced at the chair you were sitting in. It was warm, adjusted to your shape, familiar as your mug. You typed a polite decline and told yourself you'd revisit later. The room exhaled. So did your courage. Quietly. Comfort collects its fees, like a patient clerk. Here's the ledger. Risk sensitivity rises. The smallest bump looks like a cliff. Curiosity shrinks. Paths you haven't walked feel rude to your shoes. Second chances vanish because you stop asking for first ones. The longer the seat fits, the more the horizon narrows into upholstery. Huxley's lesson flickers in the margins. A society can be stable and still be small. Streets can be clean, shelves full, music pleasant, and yet the map inside each citizen contracts. Smoothness makes experiments impolite. Unrest is trimmed, and so is discovery. Soft cages follow. Benefits bind. Perks that require your continuing stillness. Subscriptions to self-image renew automatically. I'm the reliable one. I don't do chaos. I'm not a risk person. The identity you rented becomes a mortgage with quiet penalties for wandering. Reframe the threat. Danger isn't everywhere. Discomfort is. Most doors don't hide wolves. They hide drafts. The body will shiver, and then learn a new room. Safety worth having isn't the absence of weather. It's the presence of shelter you can carry. To reduce the caution tax without inviting chaos, you need leverage. Tools and habits that move more than they weigh. Small wedges under big stones. A template that cuts the unknown in half. An ally who holds a rope while you lean. Next, we'll gather those levers and pack them where you can reach them in the dark easily. The writer didn't become prolific by grinding longer. She changed one rule. Mornings belonged to words before any screen could speak. She sat, set a timer, wrote the first clumsy paragraph, and only then checked the world. The rule moved more pages in a month than adrenaline had in a year. Not harder, just engineered better. The sofa remained soft. The path to the desk got shorter. Think of leverage as the humane counter to hustle. Small structures beat willpower because they carry effort even when mood is thin. 4 levers do most of the lifting. Terrain. Arrange the room so the next action is the easiest reach. Timing. Give work a cadence that returns like tide. Tools. Automate what memory drops and what boredom resists. Tribe. A few witnesses who see your check-ins and leave a lamp on for your return. Huxley inverted. If systems can numb you, you can build systems that wake you. Replace sedating defaults with enlivening ones. Put the book where the phone used to sleep. Place the guitar on a stand, not in a case. Let your calendar be a metronome for momentum, not a museum of meetings. Build tiny scaffolds that feel kind. Pre-commit pages the way diners pre-order bread. Keep a device basket by the door and feed it at dusk. Choose one single daily reveal. A post, a note, a pull request, so completion gets a slot on the stage. Let your identity bridge be simple. I engineer my ease in the service of my aim. Comfort still has a chair, but purpose chooses the table. Leverage turns the heavy into manageable, the distant into near. Yet a machine without fuel is just polished metal. To keep the gears warm, you'll reawaken taste with a cleaner pleasure, the kind that sharpens rather than sedates. Dusk lays a soft hand on the street at night. You take the long block home, listening to shoes and the theater of windows lighting one by one. Breath steadies. Thoughts unspool and tie again. You sit for a minute, and the show keeps playing you. Episodes blur. Snacks disappear. And when you stand, the hour has no name. One scene returns you to yourself. The other erases your edges and calls it rest. Here's a cleaner way to sort it. Clean pleasures feed the spine. Movement that warms joints. Craft that makes a corner of the world truer. Learning that widens the room. Companionship that steadies the pulse. Nature that resets your inner clock. These pleasures return more attention than they borrow. Start a swap list. Trade sugary loops for savory rituals. Replace midnight scroll with a lamp and 10 pages. Trade loud snacks for water and a walk to the mailbox. Swap just one more episodes for one finished paragraph, one chord progression, one tidy drawer. Let the day and tasting like completion, not cotton. Retune Huxley's caution. Pleasure itself isn't the jailer. Dumb pleasure is. Pleasure can be a teacher when it points outward, toward making, mending, understanding, or loving. Good delight has a handle. You can pick it up tomorrow and find it warmer. Design helps more than vows. Make the good easy and the empty awkward. Keep instruments out of cases, books face up, shoes by the door. Move distraction one room farther. Bury autoplay under 2 taps. Let the sofa face the window, not the screen. A gentle nudge beats heroic grit. Even with cleaner pleasure, you still need edges. Comfort negotiates. Purpose decides. In the next breaths, we'll design boundaries soft to the touch and firm enough to hold while the pillow whispers another bargain. The house grows friendlier when ease has borders. Think of 3 doors you keep with a gentle hand. Before work, the morning gate. After work, the evening gate. Off-grid, the weekend gate you open only for weather and people you love. Each door asks a question, then lets you pass when the answer is true. Set gatekeeping rules that feel kind. Time box rest, so softness returns you, not removes you. 20 minutes, then a stretch, then begin. Earn entertainment with small wins. 1 email sent, 1 page finished, 1 sink cleared. Create no-cue pockets where devices rest in baskets and your breath remembers itself. Protect the hour before work and the hour after. Put friction on the tap that leaks your attention. Set office hours for joy the way you set them for work. Give yourself simple scripts. To others, I'm off until 10, and I'll respond after I ship. To yourself, I ship before I scroll, and this couch is earned, not assumed. Write them on a card, and let the card do some lifting when willpower is thin. Huxley's antidote lives here. Voluntary limits create voluntary strength. Choose edges, and the day stops choosing you. Soft walls make rooms safer. They do not make them small. Be patient when the rope slips. Relapse is not failure. It's a reminder to simplify the gate, not shame the guard. Shorten the path to good choices. Move the book closer, the charger farther, the snack behind a lid that asks for a pause. Keep the tone warm. You're not punishing comfort. You're parenting it. Offer rest, then release the wheel gently back to purpose. Next, we'll weave this into a weekly rhythm, so change feels like home, steady, breathable, and yours to keep when nights grow sweet and the pillow whispers again. Here is a simple operating system you can run in a dangerously comfortable world. Give the week a shape. 1 bold move day, 2 build days, 2 maintain days, and 2 off-grid pockets. The bold day is for decisions and reveals. The build days pour quiet hours into systems and drafts. Maintain days handle replies, fixes, and chores that keep the engine humming. Off-grid pockets protect breath and curiosity so appetite returns on schedule. Keep a single scorecard on 1 page. Aim, lever, proof, rest. Aim is the sentence that tells the week where to face. Lever is the smallest structure that moves the most weight. Proof is the receipt, what shipped, closed, or changed. Rest is the plan that returns color to the next attempt. Update the page in ink. Let it argue with your calendar. Each Sunday, draw a friction map. Remove 1 empty ease. Add 1 clean ease. Maybe delete a stray app and set a lamp by the chair where you read. Move the charger to the hallway and lay out shoes by the door. Make the good easy, the empty awkward. Practice alliance hygiene. Share a win with 3 people who need the signal. Ask one question of a mentor who answers plainly. Help one learner take a step you once feared. Depth compounds faster than reach. Hold the minimums. Sleep enough to think. Steps enough to untie your spine. Pages enough to feed language. One person seen without screens. Small guarantees keep storms from owning the day. Let your calendar show the rhythm until others feel it too, without you speaking. When fog settles, run the failsafe. If stuck, do the smallest real thing. One paragraph, one ticket, one drawer. Action shrinks weather. Keep the page near your pillow. The next breath can still choose. The city slept to a soft, endless melody. Speakers in shop windows hummed. Trains sighed in time. Benches invited longer pauses. People moved kindly, but slower each month, as if the song carried their feet for them. One evening, a citizen stood by a public dial hidden near the square. They didn't smash it. They listened. The tune was sweet, the volume high. They turned it down a notch until conversation appeared again. Then another, until hands reached for tools. The melody stayed, but now it guided work instead of replacing it. Bakers laughed. Doors opened. Ink found pages. The city woke without losing its kindness. Return to the phone-lit night. The same device sits on your table, screen dim, direction clear. It becomes a lamp, not a leash. You set a timer, write a line, send one true note to someone who matters, and the glow proves itself worthy. Huxley, gentled, nods from a nearby bench. Comfort is a tool. Meaning is the master. The city does not ban cushions. It remembers chairs are for sitting up to learn, to love, to build. Carry this credo like a folded map. Rest to rise. Choose clean joy. Pay comfort in minutes, not years. Let pleasure refresh you without renting your days. Keep a swap list for late hours. Keep a small ritual that returns you whole. Now close the windows and listen for your own dial. Turn the volume to a level where breath deepens and purpose can speak. Lay the phone face down like a quiet companion. Set one promise by your bed, the way bakers set dough to rise. Sleep as someone who remembers what you're for, and wake to a melody that follows your stride instead of leading it away.